nonviolent communication, or compassionate communication, fruitful communication, productive communication, loving communication, effective communication.
Effective communication.
Okay, Sarah
like
has
that.
cast her deciding vote. This is effective communication.
Empowering communication.
Empowering communication. Okay, now we're gonna, in order to do this, we're gonna sum up for you in one 57-minute segment the heart of nonviolent communication. And Sarah, Brett, and I rehearsed for hours for you people. There's 5 steps. The first is called the 0 step, which is probably the most important and the hardest to describe and to do. Ooh. We got a hand out toward your heart.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it. I can feel one of the viewers. Is there a viewer named John or who knows someone named John out there? Aha, yes.
Okay, step 0.
So step 0 is heart-to-heart communication. To feel it or at least intend it. And I've had many students in my class, and some of them say, we don't know what you're talking about. Not only about this, but lots of stuff. And so I can say, at least we intend to have a loving conversation. I intend to have some communion, some loving communion between you. And that helps because you do get angry at people for the tiniest of things. I once used to love the example in an Edward G. Robinson movie. He was a short guy that played a gangster in many films. And he said, I didn't mean to kill her, but she stepped on my cat's tail. So the littlest thing, I discovered that.
Wow.
I have a wonderful roommate. Little things.
Yeah.
Little things. There's a wonderful song I'm going to sing for you. We roam around in the show. You might have noticed we're not like extra focused on step 1, which is coming. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You stop me if I'm talking too much.
No, not at all.
This is a song for you, my sister and my faith. It sounds a little more than sisterly, but I remembered it from my youth. I don't know what songs you remember. Throw me a kiss across a crowded room. Say I look nice when I'm not. Touch my hair when you pass my chair. Little things mean a lot. Don't have to buy me diamonds or pearls, champagne, sables. You know, it's an old song with sables or such. I never cared much for diamonds and pearls, and honestly, honey, they just cost money. Give me your hand when we're on our way. Give me your heart to rely on, whether the day be bright or gray. Give me your love to rely on. Throw me a kiss across a crowded room. Say I look nice when I'm not. Touch my hair when you pass my chair. Little things mean a lot.
It's just...
It's not doo-wop, is it?
You know, I'm just gonna pull up a song on my phone. Is that okay?
Is it Why Do Fools Fall in Love? Is that a Motown song?
Yeah, I'm gonna say not really. That's kind of like an Elvis era.
Oh.
Like James Brown, I guess. Let's pull up James Brown.
Okay. This is all the help. We're not just idly going down memory lane. This is to help us get in touch with love before we're having a conversation, a challenging conversation especially. Maybe any interaction with someone.
Or you know what I just realized? Al Green or Marvin Gaye. Let's do an Al Green. And now I'm thinking Al Green. I mean, there's hey, you could do like this is a good one. Let's Stay Together.
Wow. Oh, is this beautiful? Make me feel so what?
Brand new.
Wow. Okay, thank you, I got it.
Okay.
So that can help us feel love.
So this could be stage 0. Al Green, Let's Stay Together.
Yes, yes.
And you just kind of
feel it and just spread it. Okay.
Okay.
So that's the 0 step.
Mm-hmm.
Before you have an argument with the person you're living with, who's made up too much noise last night and kept you up. Step number 1. Ta-da!
No judgment.
Well, there's a little
Observe
more than
without evaluation.
Observe without evaluation. I have a dear friend, Jessica, and she says, "What do you mean? You're stupid. I'm observing that. There's nothing evaluating about it. That's just a fact." Or my dear beloved brother, Donald Scott Koran, would say, "Mike, you're stupid. Don't take it personally. There's nothing you can do about it. You were born that way. It's not your fault." Mm-hmm. That is evaluation. They think they're just stating facts. Mm-hmm. Can we give an example to our rapt studio audience of observation without evaluation? Tell me something that's bothered you in the last, this is the end of April, something that's bothered you in April.
So I have an estranged relationship with my sister. My parents are really crushed. I'm also seeing the effects on my parents. I decided to reach out to her husband, who also I know blocks our information on her phone. Whether she knows it or not, I don't really know. I know she's overwhelmed. But so this is me. If me making a judgment would say, "Oh, she's overwhelmed."
Oh, but before you were doing great.
But I back it up, and I say I'm going to observe without evaluation.
And so, what do you observe from your sister?
What I've observed is she is not in communication.
Well, that's hard to see.
So I've observed.
She hasn't talked to you for a while.
2 years.
Oh, so you observed that, and you said that without judgment. I can hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed you haven't talked to me for 2 years. I wonder, is anything bothering you? Mm-hmm. Wow, beautiful.
Okay.
We're grading people that come on the show. So far, Sarah Brett has an A+, but we have more hard questions coming up. So that's step 1.
Okay.
We won't forget step 0, loving connection. Maybe a song might help, or an intention to connect. Before we say anything, step 1, what's going on without evaluation? That one I'm good at.
Okay.
And the 0 step I'm good at.
Now, very few people I think would be good at step 1, observation without evaluation. How are you good at that? How does one become good at that?
I think as there was an old mantra, someone said, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? And, it was lost in New York City. And the New York City person said, practice, practice, practice. So I think it's practice. I've occasionally made mistakes, and these are so powerful, these simple rules. I made one mistake by saying to my dear friend Jessica, you're demanding that I clean the floor just because I left pretzels on it when I was eating. And I don't like demands. And that was an evaluation. Instead of saying, I hear you saying that you like me, you would like me to clean the floor. That Jessica stopped talking to me for 2 days.
And that's interesting. It's active. It's actually a form of active listening, repeating back what someone says to you.
In what way?
I'm just thinking it's so easy to evaluate, but if you make an observation, it very often is there's exercises in something called active listening where someone states something, and then you state it back. Oh, I heard you say this.
Yes, that's to be part of it.
Okay.
Another mistake, I paid dearly for it. An old lover, an amazing gift in my life. I don't even mind using her nickname, Vineyard. And she was telling me how bad I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was so low I couldn't play handball off a curb. She'd call me a cockroach, but it would be an insult to the insect kingdom, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't literally say stuff like that. And I was trying to be a good boy and just listen. And I got irritated by this continual, Vineyard is good, it's just keeping it going. And I said, could you name one thing you ever did that cared for me? Which is really, the tone of it is, maybe even without the tone, could you name one thing? No, I think even that question is an accusation. And I didn't think she gave me one of the greatest gifts in my life. She introduced me to Jean Mason. Nothing could be, big deal if I shopped for her or painted her house and so on. What a gift. So that would be, and she stopped talking to me. So to observe without evaluation really is helpful and very challenging. One great philosopher, Krishnamurti, who once had 1 million people following him, great yoga, and then decided to say, everyone, don't have anybody lead you. You have to do it on your own and dissolve the whole community. And he said, one of the greatest and one of the hardest things in the world is to observe without evaluation.
I think I can observe without evaluation by kind of doing the active listening, but to not have hurt feelings.
Well, that's a whole different story. We'll get to there.
Exactly.
You can have hurt feelings. We often do.
I think I can do this step number 1.
You think you can?
But hurt feelings is a whole nother.
Well, that's a whole nother. Well, we're getting there.
Yes.
We're getting a taste of what's to come.
But I'm thinking, no, I think I can. I think all of our
Try another one.
viewers can do this
Try
too.
another one. I know you because you're very sensitive. I know you love men dearly, but every once in a while they do irritate you.
Just a tiny bit.
Can you name think of somebody who really pushed your buttons and say what he did without evaluation.
Okay.
You don't have to use
Okay.
his name.
Yep. Oh, he said he had been single for 6 months, was not online dating, was not dating anyone, was, had a bad breakup 6 months ago, was fully single. And then kind of just a little bit of weird communication for a week. I didn't work.
Weird is a judgment.
Okay, so I then see him at a social gathering, and he is so not single. 2 women are glaring at me. I then talked to one of the women. She had hung out with him like 3 days prior. So I said to him,
"Whoa!"
I said to him, "You told me that you were single. It just would have been a little less awkward. My feelings would not have gotten hurt if you just told me you were out actively dating." He said, "But when you asked me 5 days ago, I wasn't dating anyone."
Wow. So how would you... we're going to relive the situation.
Yeah.
I can be the guy.
Okay, so if I'm going to say to him,
Say to me.
You're telling, okay, you are telling me 5 days ago when I asked you, you were not single.
Oh, very nice. Wow.
Because I'm actively listening.
And there was no judgment in your tone either.
Yeah.
You could say the same words with judgment. You told me 5 days ago that you...
That's
you
true.
didn't do that.
That's true.
See, it's getting it. We grade guests on the show. So far, A+.
All right.
Now...
No tone. The tone is the hard thing to drop.
Tone is hard to drop with that. I blew it with, could you tell me one... Or even to say, I don't... Well, we'll keep going though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now the steps are getting, in some ways, way more... I'm good at so far. 0 and 1.
Okay.
2 and 3, I have a lot of trouble with.
Mm-hmm.
What is the second step?
You assess what you are feeling.
Yes.
You ask yourself,
Yep.
what are you feeling?
And you can even do a body scan.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you feeling then? Or what was I feeling when I told Vineyard? Could you... Oh my... See, I don't know that. I go quickly to my head. That's why this is such a good...
It's hard.
So we can
I do know what I'm feeling.
What were you feeling in that moment?
Just a lot of hurt and pain.
Where?
My lower stomach is where I feel it.
Oh, you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, but at least to know that. That's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're going to go to the next, before we go to my examples. What's the next step after you know your feelings?
Okay, it is discover what you need.
Right, feelings, according to Nonviolent Communication, Marshall Rosenberg, point to what we need, and needs are universal. Every human being has these needs. I have a chart right on the, if we can play with soon if you want. Those are examples of feelings and needs. So many, especially for those of us. And Marshall says
And these are the feelings.
Yeah, most of us are not very eloquent, not very schooled in knowing about feelings and needs, especially men, you might have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
So what need did that feeling, what was the feeling in your belly again? Hurt? Pain, hurt. Okay.
Fear.
And fear too, huh? Oh my. Oh, feels awful.
Mm-hmm.
So what need or needs do you have?
Respect.
Oh, yes.
And it is helpful because sometimes it's very easy to say, oh, I need,
Probably.
something that's an adjective. But these are
Some
These
of
are
the-
nouns.
Some of these was,
I'm going to say some emotional safety,
yeah,
some confidence, some consideration.
trust.
Yep, and I'm gonna, appreciation, gratitude. Like, okay, I'm chopped liver, thanks, you know. So I'm saying appreciation, gratitude.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So now the last step is, do you remember?
Yes. The last step is to ask a doable request.
And how, she's great at this. How do we know it's a request and not a demand, like I
Because
heard from
it's
Jessica?
you ask in a question form. Is it an option? Is it?
Right, would you consider?
Would
but
you
how,
consider?
How do we know for sure, though, it's a request and not a demand? And what if they say no?
That's okay.
Yeah, that
We
is
are
the hard.
fine with it's a yes or no. You ask a question, the answer could be yes
There
or
could be
no.
many others, but if you're
Yeah.
okay with being with the no kind of answer,
Mm-hmm.
then it's a request. And people do way better.
Mm-hmm.
I might ask Jessica for a ride because I did some favors for her, and she said she'd help give me. But I'm very good at saying she knows that she doesn't have to,
Mm-hmm.
even though she promised me she would give me some rides. So that's the heart of it. Now,
Well, what would the doable request be for both of us?
well, yeah, that would. Oh, thank you. She's so good at this. What would your doable request be, and what would mine? Well, so mine was. Well, one of them was being told by Vineyard what a disgusting human being I was. She didn't quite use those words, though.
Wow.
She just kept going over and over. Once she ran out of the Cambridge Center after we broke up, and I was on my bike, and it really hurt her that I didn't stop, because I was afraid to talk with her and get into an argument and, maybe get back. I just didn't want to do words anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
But she was really hurt by that. Often women feel, like you just said, feel like chopped liver, or, you can't even stop. We've had a passionate love affair for 2 years. You can't even stop when I run out in the street.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very hurt by that and angry. You would understand. She felt like chopped liver. So she wasn't giving me a doable request. I don't think she knows how to do that yet. She was just she liked to tell me what, at least imply what a bad human being I am.
Mm-hmm.
And what would my doable request? Mine would be, Vineyard, what would you like from me now? That would have been good for me to say. Is there anything I can do or say now that would, that you would like or love? I didn't think of that. That would have been helpful.
I like that. Is there anything? Repeat that one more time.
Is there anything I can do or say now? That doesn't mean I have to do it, but I'd like to know. Is there anything you would like to request? I probably should use the word request so they don't think that I'm a slave to their answer.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would like to request now that would be helpful to you or healing for you?
That's great. This is, I'm going to take notes. This is
Well,
note
you have
taking.
this. This is going to be on.
Yeah.
This is going to go viral.
That-
Thanks to you people. You are helping make it. We thank you in advance for the viralness of the show. So now, what about you?
That is excellent. That's really empowering because you're offering something to this person that's hurt, but it's empowering that person as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
It's showing respect.
They might say, "Listen, cockroach. There's nothing." Well, even that would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing you could do.
Yeah.
Die and go to hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
But even that's an answer. I say, okay, hell is an interesting place to visit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I die and be reborn, and I'm reborn all the time. So I'm not sure that she would like that answer. Now, what about you? Because you were like Vineyard. You were just angry at them for what they did, right? There wasn't anything they could
felt
do
so
anymore.
foolish.
Yeah.
That this person just, they just
You just want another pretty girl.
yeah, they're not, they weren't, and they weren't honest.
And they're not really probably able.
No,
So what would you request then?
they're not able. They have their deficits.
Yes, what would you request?
My request would be, going forward, if you know that you're not in a place where, where compatibility, where monogamy, I think my request is that you communicate very clearly and honestly with where you're at and what you want.
Yeah, that's hard. That's because it's not doable in a very specific thing they can
Right.
do.
We came from a communication workshop where I met him, where we did exercises on communicating very clearly and honestly. So that's why this was extra hard. I was in this kind of self-healing, self-development communication workshop, and it was like, these are the questions you ask. We went through all the questions, answer them honestly.
Now, do you know for sure he wasn't honest, or was his answer that I was?
He had a date to do this other communication with this woman like a month prior.
Oh, but I didn't tell you.
No. So a week.
But could you expect someone to? This is getting more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If I am meeting, because I've been blessed.
Mm-hmm.
I hope some of the women feel that way. Some do, with 22 different women friends.
Mm-hmm. That's not a blessing, having like 22 boyfriends. I just want
Not at the same
compatibility.
time. I had one
No,
at a time.
I want compatibility.
Was serially monogamous.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But even then, I had an agreement with my wife. If I meet someone at a party, I have to wait a year before asking them out.
Because why?
Because I might want to.
Oh, okay. I don't want to dwell on this. I just, again, it was very frustrating because you think, you're in this communication workshop to grow and develop and learn, how to communicate honestly. And that is honestly the type that it's not uncommon to meet someone like that.
So Mother Nature did it. You have about 500 eggs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have billions of sperm.
Mm-hmm.
We're made that way.
And so as a woman with 500 eggs, we have to be very selective.
Yes, and we don't.
And so
we're even made.
So we want to find ways to effectively communicate so we get honest answers back.
Well, honest, yes. Now it could be. Let's see. If someone asked me, I would always say at the moment, no one.
But next week I have
I don't know.
a workshop next week.
Yes, I would. That would almost be too hard to answer.
But one of the questions was, there was a whole series of questions. Are you interested in what are you looking for?
No, but even that,
And are you interested in
I'd be scared of that if someone said
online dating profiles you fill out if you're looking for something casual, looking for something serious, looking for marriage. People fill in
I understand
all that stuff.
I understand.
And they if someone that says they're looking for marriage, they're gonna just stay in the straight and narrow.
I guess.
Because they want this.
So what is it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be this guy now because I am this guy.
Uh-huh. All right. So what's my doable request?
Yes.
So that because I have my 800 eggs,
500.
500 eggs, and you have your billion sperm, I have to, as a woman, I'm on a ticket. I'm at very limited time. I have to ask the right questions. I have to ask questions and have some empowering. I need to feel empowered. I need to know what is the best way to get an honest answer back from someone.
Well, that's great coming attractions. Now, what is the doable request? And this is hard. I do not know the answer. What would a woman? They might ask me, "Are you involved with someone now?" That I could say no.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you did ask.
Well, I did say, I brought up a relationship contract. I had read about a relationship contract, and I think it's great. I said, what you do is you either stick to 2 weeks or 4 weeks. You make it very doable. Do you want to try dating exclusively for a week or 2 weeks or 4 weeks?
Oh, that's beautiful.
And reevaluate.
Wow.
So,
good for you.
So that would be the way
that's
to do it.
That's a doable request.
So after, when he said to me, oh, well, when you asked me, I wasn't going on a date with anyone else. I said, but you had this date planned a month in advance with this other woman. And it was going to be this 3-day weekend.
Gee.
I mean, that's a
but
pretty...
if you had asked him that question, then that's a wonderful question.
So the relationship contract, can we make a relationship contract?
Yes.
And how long? If yes, how long do you want to make it for?
Whoa! Wow! We are cooking with relationships. Okay.
And then it's just, hey, we agreed to a week. Let's reevaluate a week.
Yes.
Okay, you have your weekend workshop with someone. Bye, all set.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right. There we go.
So we've covered the 4 steps and the 0 step, which we are going to review now.
Mm-hmm.
So the 0 step is, and we will try to act them out for our audience. And tell them what it is.
Okay, heart to heart. It could be done on the phone. It could be done in person. It's a feeling. You're sharing this love back and forth.
And you would love this to infuse the conversation.
It's like doing a little mini meditation before you go into step number 1.
And it might help these billion sperm men if they feel love before you start talking about other things, like a week contract.
I think the 0 step is the most important step, because if you center yourself and you're coming from a place of love, you want to find what's best for both people. And someone said you take someone as part of yourself, and you're coming up with a solution.
Yes, that their feelings and needs are as important as ours, and the guy's feelings and. He might have a need for freedom.
Sperm.
A need for freedom.
Absolutely.
But a week, I can handle a week.
Mm-hmm.
It could even be, who knows, but a week, could I handle a week? I think I would be touched, especially if it was done with love. Could we go together for a week? It didn't mean we have to sleep together, right?
No.
No.
It's just someone actually following through and being present with no other
And
distractions.
if you don't feel the love, for some of my students don't. I teach at Lexington Community Ed, this class. They say, what are you talking about? I say, okay, you can have an intention to have a fruitful conversation. And just feel that intention. And we gave an extra hint that's not even in Marshall Rosenberg's book. Play some love songs.
Mm-hmm.
That was a beautiful song. What
Al
was the name?
Green.
Oh, that was so. Let's Stay Together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so in love with you.
Whoa! I can feel it. Thank you. And they'll feel it too. They won't know what hit them when you can really hit them with
You
love.
know what I think? I think you could probably play some Al Green on low when you're having this.
Yes.
The start of us
Of the
going into step one.
So we got 0. Step 1 is
Of no evaluation.
well, there's
Observation.
observation.
No, without
Well,
evaluation.
what's going on? That's a song, I think.
Yes, what's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah.
And we gave examples. Sometimes it's hard. I was visiting Jessica, and Jessica's going through some hard times and doesn't even flush the toilet often. I go in and I see her shit.
No.
Yeah. And,
Oh God, no. This is not. Oh gosh.
And
Oh gosh, that's rough.
I don't say anything. I could say, I noticed that it was some doo-doo in the toilet.
Oh
I could
God.
say that without evaluation. I didn't, because I have enough issues with Jessica as it is.
Oh no. You know what I would put? I would put one of those like air freshener sprays in the bathroom.
Oh,
I think I would do that.
okay.
Okay.
I have another friend
Mm-hmm.
who has trouble with roommates, as many people do. He still wants to live in a group home.
Mm-hmm.
I tell him he's got enough money now to buy a 2-bedroom in Beverly. But no. And so I would love to be able to say that without evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
How could I say that? Someone wants to find insanity as doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yes.
And John has lived again and again with roommates because he was poor then, but now he isn't. And of course it's hard living with strangers. So how can I say to John, John just told me I can get rid of the bad apples. As if you know when you're interviewing who's the bad apple. So how can I say that? Observe without evaluation.
You tell me, John, that you can get rid of the bad apples. You could ask how once they move in.
How would you know?
How would you know? You could ask him a question.
Yes, how would you know?
How do you know?
How would you know? Yes, without evaluation. Not, how would you know?
And how would you ask them to leave if that
They
came to
can't.
that?
Yes, they can't. You can't.
Mhm.
Okay, so now these are the official guidelines.
Mhm.
I do love talking emotionally.
Mhm.
I love it. I don't want to be too goody, but I love the rules because when I break them, I pay.
Yes, I agree. If you follow the
But
rules.
I'm learning to get my spontaneity in the rules. I'd love to say, John, I can say that. How do you know who are the bad apples? Remember Charlie, who you lived with? Who smoked pot all the time? Or what about Virginia, who never did her chores? So,
Just grab him the phone. Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Awesome, thank you so much.
so I'm learning to put emotion in even still not evaluating.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a skill.
Yeah, well, because I'm learning to speak with my body, and I'm not sure I'm doing this in the show, but sometimes. Okay, 0 step, 1 step. Step number 2.
Step number 2, you ask yourself, how am I feeling?
And I'm adding to this now. You ask yourself how they are feeling and what they are needing. You don't get into thoughts. What could we do? When I hear Vineyard tell me what a despicable boyfriend I was and the human being I am now, or when we'll call him Dave, when Dave tells you, oh, I just wasn't honest with you. How can we get in touch with what they're feeling and needing and not get intellectual about it? Not listen, what is that man feeling and needing when he lies to you? First, what is he feeling?
He's feeling,
I would know already. I am.
So for step number 2, I'm asking myself what I'm feeling, and then I'm going into the head of the other person.
After you get in touch with your feelings,
Yes.
needs, but we're reviewing this. So
Yeah.
now we're learning to listen with a giraffe heart. But first, we have to jackal.
Yes.
First, get out our feelings. This I'm not good at. What do we really feel about Vineyard and Dave? Oh, I could scream.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my beloved mother. I could scream, ah! And I don't do that. I don't even know I feel that way. I'm like a good boy, I'm going to listen and not evaluate. But if I get in touch with my feelings, I feel battered, humiliated, diminished, disrespected, frightened of being drawn into long arguments that have it's down to the hell that Vineyard's in. So I'm scared, I'm angry, I'm hurt, and I need to get those out. Otherwise they come out. That's why I said to Vineyard, could you see, I was trying to be a good boy, but they leak out, as a friend of mine said. My dear friend Tracy said, Michael, your anger and violence leaks out. So, before I start getting in touch with their feelings and needs, I have to, Marshall calls it, jackal out, which I just did and feels a little better. In co-counseling, it's known as discharge. Get all those feelings out. What are your feelings toward Dave, who lied to you? It might not be fit for adults.
It's not.
It's not fit for you. We are not going to hear what she feels about Dave. You can guess.
Yeah. You can certainly guess.
Okay. But can you feel it?
Yes.
Can you express it non-verbally?
Yeah, it's pretty, I feel nauseous. Yeah.
Oh. Ugh. Someone violated, it's like
it's a violation.
Raped and ugh. Not another guy. The billion sperm and not knowing how to
The billions from not knowing how to not be an animal, how to tame the beast.
Yes, how to tame the beast.
Yeah.
Oh my. And some women kill.
Some women do kill.
Yep. They just kill them. Oh my. So that's important before we get goody-goody.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta feel it and let it out.
Mm-hmm.
Call a friend. Write your journals. Go to co-counseling. Go to counseling. That is scary for me because I was so violent.
When you were jackling or before?
I'm still not good. I said I'm good at 0 step,
Yeah.
1 step and doable requests.
Yeah.
Feelings and needs, give me a 0.
Yeah, I'm a 0 on that one.
No, you're
too.
better.
No.
No? No wonder
you.
we're friends.
I know. No. That jackling, that's like pretty much 75% of my life right there is the jackal.
I didn't know. At least you knew. I didn't know them. Women have a better chance because guys are taught don't have feelings.
That's true.
My mother used to hit me for crying when she hit me.
No, see, that's awful.
She'd hit me and I'd cry. She
Awful.
said, "Boys don't cry." Whack! Make me feel like I was.
gosh.
So
That's
I shut down completely I showed her for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Got cancer, but a small price to pay for not letting that violence out. Okay, so that's jackling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and only then,
Mm-hmm.
we can listen with the giraffe heart. And what is a giraffe? This is a harder question. What does a giraffe heart do?
They put themselves in the other person's mindset and they feel. They offer
Well, this is very kind. This is a very specific thing we pay attention to. When the guy is saying, "Oh, I wasn't seeing her until 3 minutes after I said goodbye to you." And what? So what do we focus on with the giraffe heart after we get our jackal?
Our heart grows and grows.
No, but what do we? There's a very specific thing. We focus on, and the only thing we hear with a giraffe heart is what they're feeling and needing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing they might say. Oh, and blah blah blah, and boo boo boo, and I love you, and I'm sorry.
But we they could go on and on and on. Oh yeah, but 5 minutes late the 5 minutes when you asked me that question, I wasn't dating.
Yeah,
5 minutes later, I was.
Yeah.
But you didn't ask me 5 minutes
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
So then I have to. And once I do the jackal, the giraffe heart comes. I still use this resource right here.
Yeah. So
and
what?
I say, all right.
What are they feeling?
What are their feelings and what are their needs?
Yes. I know that. Since I'm Dave. I need to feel free.
Yes.
I don't want to be trapped.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who I dated, and then we became friends for life. I was there at the moment she died. Gwen Brown. Hi, Gwen.
Oh.
But we stayed friends for 16 years after a 3-month romance. And she was a therapist, and she had a flyer for Jewish men that had 3 questions. Does your mother know where you are now? That's question number 1. 2, when a woman touches you, do you feel they're taking something from you? This is all things I felt. And 3, will it take you 6 months to discover how you feel about this ahead? Because our feelings are on such delay because they're so angry. So 6 months later, I can realize, oh, I am really angry and hurt by Vineyard. But I don't know that at the time. Because in order to function, if I got in touch with my feelings, I would be too angry and too hurt. So, I know what Dave is feeling. But you tell me, we went through it once. And then it's your job to really have compassion for what guys like Dave and I are feeling. What am I feeling when I'm lying to you?
For feelings, I would say embarrassed, uncomfortable,
No.
overwhelmed,
Yes. Scared.
scared, fearful.
Yes. That's enough to start it. Now the
Yeah.
challenge is, can you feel for me after you wanted to kill me? Can you feel for me? Oh, because you have those feelings too. You get scared.
Yeah,
Can you feel? And what do I need?
right. I can actually. This is great. This list is fantastic.
And what do
I get it.
What do I need? Yes, I know what I need.
Freedom.
I don't want to be trapped by a
No.
woman. Women can be really. Oh my Lord! No, I'm not going to do it on this show. Wow.
I need choice,
Yes. or
self-expression,
Yes.
independence,
Yes.
power.
Yes. We only have, time flies when you're having fun, 2 minutes to go. There are 4 Ds
Yes.
you're not supposed to do. And they are.
The 4 Ds, these always throw me off. Do not be a victim of your emotions.
That's very
Take
nice.
responsibility.
Oh, take, yes, that you got it. Don't deny
Deny
responsibility for your feelings. If you feel it, you're responsible. And I don't have time to tell the story of being hugged by a fat man at a dance and being and then going around and seeing him reach for his seeing eye dog. And I realize he's blind, and he hugs me again, and I'm so grateful. He's there and he has some love for me. I don't mind slobbering him. So I'm responsible, even the first time. I didn't have to feel repulsed. I didn't have to. I could just say he's having a hard day or something.
Okay.
So denial of responsibility. 1 minute to go. 1 D. 3 more Ds.
This is always so hard. We went over this yesterday too. I slept on it.
One of my dear friends, Karen,
Okay.
brought up as a single child by a loving family. Deserves everything.
Oh, deserve.
Oh, give me.
Yeah.
If you're a good brother, you'll do this and this and this. And by the way, could you do this?
Right. And then denial.
Denial of responsibility for feelings.
Deserve.
What I did. Demand. Yes, don't just do a request. I had so many people demand, you should do this.
Right.
Oh my. And the last,
I'm doing terribly.
my favorite, diagnose.
Diagnose.
Bye.